Ambazonia, special loyalty. Praises to our Savior who taught the roads of freedom. And legends to the hero who called the lonely Diablo. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in our nation, flowing rivers and holy. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation and joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in continuity in our need. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of his day.
My fellow Ambazonians, soldiers of the revolution, I bring you greetings from all those who continue to believe in us, from all who stand with us, and from all who know our cause is just. Let me first start by recognizing our brave men and women, patriot volunteers of our revolution, who have made the ultimate sacrifice in the defense of our freedoms. There are countless others who continue to endure the cruelty that has been and continues to be inflicted on our people by the proxy colonial regime of Cameroon. Know that our nation stands with you, our people stand with you, and those yet unborn will remember your name, know you for your bravery and for the sacrifice you've made to uphold our collective rights as a people that must always be free from all forms of oppression and tyranny from the colonialism and annexation of Cameroon. Several years ago, under immense pressure from our people, the colonial government of Yaoundé approved the opening of the first Anglo-Saxon university in the southern territory of our nation. True to its nature of keeping our people uneducated, they raised the tuition fee to 300,000 amber to keep us from acquiring higher education and consequently remaining their slaves. We rose up to question their actions. The repressive regime dismantled the student government and went after its elected leaders. I staged a one-man strike in protest and was banned as a student from ever attending any university within Ambazonia and Cameroon. Since then, I have been marked for extinction by the colonial government of Cameroon and its allies. My fellow countrymen and women, over the years, we have made every effort to resist such injustices against our people. I couldn't fight this battle alone, so we joined forces with other Ambazonians so as a broom could cleanse our homeland of such iniquities. We created the Southern Cameroon's Youth League on the 28th of May 1995 to foster the goal of independence, to battle the Yaoundé regime. Fast forward, we went on to create the Ambazonian Governing Council, whose unique mission is to use all necessary means under international law, including targeted diplomacy, community mobilization and self-defense from abductions, torture, intimidation, and killings of our citizens by the government of Cameroon to bring full independence to the annexed people of Ambazonia. For over a year and a half now, our children have not been to school. The cry for our help and have yelled so the world can hear them loud and clear. Our olds have been shot and killed, and some of them burnt alive in their homes. Their spirits have called on the world community to hear them. Our young continue to be tortured, maimed, our girls raped, and our people killed. In their numbers, some buried in mass graves, and others left for the wild and nature to take its course. Their voices continue to call on us as a community to listen to their plight, to listen to their suffering, as our towns and villages have been deserted. Families seek refuge in bushes and neighboring countries. Their tears and pain have invited us. Fellow countrymen and women, the world has turned their voices off. The world has closed their eyes, minds and hearts to our people. We are faced by very powerful forces working against our plight to preserve their economic interests. We understand the difficulty of this struggle. We know the colonialists have used tactics such as intimidations, including burning down of homes, towns, and cutting down crops of our people. In other countries, they have assassinated presidents like Patrice Lumumba of Congo and Thomas Sankara that we all know. We know they have infiltrated groups with spies and individuals serving on their request to destroy us from inside, with the aim of quelling the quest for freedom and justice. We know part of the reason they will not negotiate their exit from our homeland is that they are busy strategizing on ways to stop our struggle for freedom. Part of this strategy is sowing seeds of discord and turning us against each other to damage our reputations, destroy our spirit and our hopes. As we argue amongst ourselves and kill each other, they can sit aside and watch our hopes dashed while they continue to exploit our homeland. We have seen this game played before in many other African countries. The sad part is that the colonialist uses some of our vulnerable citizens to this aim. That is why we need to be very vigilant of the groups we ally with, people we deal with, and we need to be very critical of the information we receive, read, and share with each other. Fellow citizens of Ambazonia, we find ourselves yet again at the precipice of this struggle. We are presented with a choice on this crossroads. We are presented with the option of choosing our past, the past that has treated us like second-class citizens in our homeland, one that has us watch as truckload of trees took hundreds of years to grow, being ferried away to foreign lands as we stand by and watch and trek on muddy roads, while those that can afford cars have no roads to drive on. We have the choice where soldiers of a foreign state can do whatever they please, including genocide, rape, maim, and burn down our houses, destroy our crops, and cause the desertion of our towns and villages with no consequences. The past presents us with our children being taught in a language they have no understanding of, where our judges and administrators are all foreigners, a past that has washed away our sense of decorum and replaced it with a foreign culture of corruption, extortion, and the disregard for the law. The past presents us with the natural resources bestowed upon us by God, such as our petroleum, Indian, and diamonds in Indian, to be channeled to a foreign nation for their benefit, while our people languish in misery. The past exposes the fact that ever since the Germans opened up rubber, black pepper, palm, and tea plantations in 1895 along the fertile coastline of our territory, the infrastructure has remained unchanged and has generally perished. Here is what the past equally has for us. National Produce Marketing Board transferred to Cameroon and later shut down. West Cameroon Development Agency, created to finance industry, shut down. West Cameroon Marketing Board misappropriated with impunity and its large reserve wasted. West Cameroon Electricity Corporation Powercam, with electricity supply from Yorke, shut down. Familiar West Cameroon businesses like Nanga Company, Kilos Brothers, Niba Autos, and Che Company staff of credit to force them out of business. Businesses such as Santa Coffee Estate, Womb Area Development Authority, and Obang Farm Settlement pushed to their debts. They shut down our functioning airports, such as the Bamenda and Tico, and closed down our seaports. The past shows us how they have taken away from us the responsibility of developing our towns and villages with unelected foreign governors and government delegates. Our roads that used to be maintained are now all unpassable. Our individual and civil liberties have been confiscated together with our right to due process. Lest I remind you that only the CDC seems to have survived among the general economic structures that made the economy of Ambazonia. But we all know that 70% of its employees today are not Ambazonians. My fellow citizens, let me draw your attention to Comrade Ayuk Tabe Seseko and his team, Mancho BDC, Numvi Walters, Ntanen Dani and the others who died, and countless others who languish in colonial jails, Ndango Patrick, for the crime of exercising their human rights. My fellow Ambazonians, this is what going back to the past presents to us, just to name a few. We equally have the option to write our own story, our own history, and our own future. I come to you today, reminding you that the road ahead is a tough one, that a revolution is not a walk in the park. The oppressor knows what they stand to lose, so will use every tool in its toolbox to derail the path to our independence and freedom. This will include creating confusion, schisms, and antagonisms amongst us, generally referred to as divide, conquer, and rule. I want to call upon you to stand firm, to remain steadfast, and to assert your goddamn given right as citizens of Ambazonia, because I see the future. The future is what I know you all want, and I stand with you in that future. I want you to stand with Ambazonia, because as a people, we are stronger than any strategy they can use against us. They fail to realize that freedom and justice is in our collective psyche as brothers and sisters of Ambazonian extraction, and not in any single individual or group. I want you to stand with Ambazonia because we are never going back. Let me remind all the detractors out there that the arc of freedom and justice have always and will always bend towards the oppressed. Choose your side wisely, as we are never going back, because our people will never be treated as second-class citizens in their homeland. We are never going back, because our students will never again be denied education for exercising their basic human rights. We are never going back because the children will never be taught in a foreign language, and our lawyers stripped of respect and their human dignity by foreigners who know no limits to human injustices. We are never going back, Ambazonians. We are never going back to unelected foreign administrators who torture, maim, rape, kill, and burn the homes of our citizens to maintain their illegal control over our people. That's why we're never going back. We're never going back to bad roads, poor sanitation, and a lack of potable water for our children, while the annexation is lavishes over our natural resources. We aren't going back, Ambazonians, to unlawful arrest, torture, and detentions of our brothers and sisters, while the oppressor insults us in a language that makes no sense to us. We aren't going back to the dark days where our people are called dogs and cockroaches and have to sit under tables to receive breadcrumbs. We aren't going back to where our people from both the northern and southern region have to travel to another country to complete paperwork for any endeavor and yet still be cheated every step of the way. We aren't going back to a place where our brothers and sisters and parents and uncles are denied opportunity simply because the amber blood flows in them. I see a different future for all of us. That is why I have been in this struggle for our liberation, and I know the future will soon come to pass. Ambazonians, we are just now entering phase 3 of our struggle. We will need each and every Ambazonian. We will need your support. Our strategy requires all hands on deck. Dust off your shoes and be prepared to answer the call. Block by block, rooftop by rooftop, quarter by quarter, hamlet by hamlet, county by county, zone by zone. We will release ourselves from this yoke of oppression and colonialism. I know most of you have asked how we intend to do this. We will continue to emphasize our strategy of targeted diplomacy, community mobilization as the primary investors of our liberation, and the right for strategic self-defense from the hands of the oppressor and its allies. We will leave no stone unturned in making our territories, both northern and southern region, ungovernable and cost prohibitive for the Yaoundé regime and its foreign emissaries that they work for. The block-by-block strategy is designed to minimize our losses. First, you plan a strategy, which we have done so in the last 2 years. Then we fight atomization, which we have done by grouping our people in blocks. Then we undermine the pillars of the occupation, which we are doing in economic sabotage, arresting enablers and collaborators, and hitting hard on their military. Once the pillars are shaken and can't hold, the regime will crumble within Ambazonia. Improvisation doesn't work in a resistance like ours. You have to plan and strategize. My fellow citizens, to the people of La République du Cameroon, I understand you have some problems too, for your government hardly works for you. I want you to know our plight has never been against you and will never be against you. We will support you in your endeavor to overthrow the anarchy in your country. Let your soldiers ask themselves what they truly are fighting for. We will not be responsible for anyone that stands on our exit. Given our historical relationship, we will continue to work together to improve the lives of our people and coexist as good neighbors. Now, to you, my fellow Ambazonians, our struggle is just, our cause is ordained, and our spirit and resolve remains unshaken. Let no one tell you otherwise. We are never going back again. God bless you all.